2nd and 10. Jameis to throw it. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. They'll throw again. Winston. Open man, completes it to Claypool. And that's going to be good for another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 29-yard line. And on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
Winston now to throw on 1st down. Over the middle, hauled in by Smith-Schuster. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, Winston. And that's going to be incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. To the air again with Winston. Open man right side is Smith-Schuster, complete. And he gets us inside the 10 to the 9. It's also a gain of 9.
Well, I know from past experience, before you actually play a game, you visualize what's going to happen. And I don't know anyone who doesn't visualize themselves being in the center of what's going on. That's 3 catches for him here in the early going. He's got to like the way this has started.
Absolutely. 3 catches on any drive is good. Opening drive, that's a tone setter. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. And now that brings him 4th down there. A loss of 6 yards on the sack. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. The kick by Bass is good. And the Steelers will jump out to a 3-zip lead. So the opening drive does yield points. Maybe not the 7 they wanted, but they'll take the 3.
Accumulating 1st downs does not go up on the scoreboard, but it does go into the DNA of a team that's trying to establish itself to start a game. That has to feel pretty good for them. They'll take the 3.
Yeah, they had 3 first downs and 3 points. Here's Ronald Jones, first carry for the USC man. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It's a loss of 4 on the 1st down play.
Sometimes you get all those big guys down there in one spot and there's just nowhere to go. And in this case, the defensive tackle used his strength and swallowed him up.
So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now it's Fields. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, they got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He'll let this go deep for Ruggs.
And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. 4th down, and on is Ty Long to punt. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession.
They are back over the 500 mark for the year. A 3-game winning streak really coming at the exact right time, Charles, to get them back into playoff contention.
And it's always a question of when do you want your football team to peak? And everyone always talks about you want to be playing your best ball going into the playoffs, but sometimes you need your best ball before that time. And this team, going into this stretch of games, they are certainly playing their best football of the year.
And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT.
They'll put a check mark in the box where the defense coordinator was saying, how well can we stay with these receivers if we're in man coverage? Because he just did it on that one, forced the incompletion. That'll allow him to get bolder with his pass rush, won't it?
Absolutely. Frees up your guys elsewhere. On 2nd and 10, Winston. Johnson's got it complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, they obviously read man coverage their partner, and he got downfield, broke down the defender, made him
What do you mean by that, Burke?
Yeah, he made him think he was going to run a different route. Probably thought he was going to take it upfield. Then he curls back inside for the completion.
Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40.
And Charles, with that completion, I'm told that puts him over 3,000 yards passing now on the campaign.
And Brandon, nowadays your leader's usually closer to 5,000 yards on the year, but still. .3,000 yards, a good season.
Again, it's Winston. Short little throw to Ebron. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent game. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down.
They had yet to run the ball at all on this drive, but 3rd and short definitely was a great time to dial one up.
Line of scrimmage, the 30. One now on 1st and 10. Throwing, Winston. Quick completion here to Johnson. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete.
7 yards the pick up there.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3. At the Falcons' 13-yard line.
Working with a 2nd and 3.
From the gun, Winston. Over the middle, complete. That's Harris. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Jameis again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Winston.
That swung out wide to Harris.
And in for the Steelers, touchdown.
Najee Harris
with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead.
CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that challenge, a successful one. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris with his 16th touchdown of the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. Able to punch it in on 3rd down makes it easier for those guys on the sideline. They didn't have a 4th down decision to make.
Yeah, could you feel the exhale? Because they were already thinking ahead, as all the good coaching staffs do. Anticipating what we have to make the call. They already had it lined up. Never even got to it.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
Let's go!
So for the second time in this one, we get set to see the Falcons offense. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Meanwhile, Fields throw into the hands of Pitts here. And he is out of bounds right around the 34.
Nice job, nice patience right there. Put him on the right side, let him work his way across, put the ball in his hands, and let him work his way upfield with a catch.
Now a 1st down throw, Fields. It's caught by OBJ. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. That reception, his 600th NFL catch. Congratulations, quite the accomplishment. And just a yard to go here on 2nd down.
Let's go, Heavy. Let me know what you got. What you got, Heavy?
Off the option, it's Jones. He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And he brings this up to the 46. Good enough for the 1st. Well, they gave themselves options there on the 3rd down play and were able to convert on that RPO.
Shows a lot of trust with the guy taking the snap, doesn't it? Because you're counting on him to make the right reads and give the ball where it's supposed to go.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Devin Bush. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks all day, baby. You can't stop me.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
Yes,
and he's
I am.
miles away and smiling.
And happy. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
So the ball moves from 138 to the other as they come up on 1st and 10.
56, Mike, 56, right there, right there.
Now Fields. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I believe I'm following their logic. Take the big shot downfield, loosen things up. You're hoping to get some points on the board before the half. Maybe now you come back and throw some underneath stuff in order to make sure you get a completion.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. He sets up the screen to Jones. And he gets it down to the 32. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you can get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Throwing again is Fields. Got this complete to the tight end Pitts. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. 1st and 10 here, and you know, if they could just get 3 out of this, something about whittling it to a one-score game at half that might provide a psychological boost.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
Fields. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And down inside the 15 he goes. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of... timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line.
Hey, check Mike 21, Mike 21, check Mike 21. Double up.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And that play just looked a little helter-skelter from the start. That's the risk as a quarterback. Once you take off with that football, you might fumble it, and he did.
And he was going for the reward, which is gaining yardage, breaking down a defense. But you're right about the risk. Always lurking out there, someone always trying to get to the football. Try to find a place to cover up and slide and protect what you've earned.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
And this is potentially a nervy situation this close to their own goal line.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, time for a sprint to the finish as it's time to get you caught up with what's happening around the NFL here in a pivotal Week 15. We'll start our tour out in the City of Angels, Los Angeles, and it's the Buccaneers who are out in front in the second quarter.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime.
We're just about set to get back to it. Both teams making their final adjustments, and we'll head back to Atlanta and rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. Taken in at the 3. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Falcons ready to go back to work to start the third quarter. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start clawing back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. He was unable to shake free there, and they'll cover him for a loss of a yard.
Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Fields now to throw. That's caught. It's Frank Darby.
And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45.
Let's go. Every now and then I can speak from experience because I do know as a defender it is awfully hard to stay with your man on these crossing routes because even if you don't get picked, there's a danger of being picked either by one of their receivers or maybe by your own defender. And on that play, that worked quite well.
Play action. It's Fields.
There goes a deep ball, end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick.
And the Steelers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2.
And their defense just helped them out by getting the football back on the opening drive here in the second half. And now can the offense follow through with points on their first possession?
And that's a big one for them because after the work the defense has done, they've got a chance here to open up this lead.
They turn to Harris to begin the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
There's the stiff arm. Able to push his way through. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going?
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. And the Falcons will take over possession here up at the 44. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice, because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it's a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
He's got his pass-catching tight end. That's Pitts. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well, because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Well, it's caught on the right side at Smith. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. It'll be a loss of 6 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as they'll go for it on 4th down. They snap it to Fields. He'll let this go deep for Ruggs. Touchdown! Henry Ruggs with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Falcons' decision to go for it pays off with 6 points. But sometimes you just got to marvel at how these guys can throw the football. He gave that everything he had, and it was right on the money.
And give him credit. He deserves it. But this is such a breakdown defensively, my goodness. From a pass rush perspective, you know that they got to be coming hard on 4th down trying to get to the quarterback. But from a coverage perspective, how do you not see that play developing? And it turns into a touchdown.
And that ball traveling 68 yards in the air, according to Next Gen Stats. Long now will kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Meanwhile, Winston's throw complete there to Johnson. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35.
As they began this drive, I was wondering how they were going to attack since they're playing with the lead. Would they continue to try and push the ball downfield? Well, after one play, it appears that the answer is yes.
Now a 1st down carry for Harris. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Winston's throw there hauled in by Claypool.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 47. Jameis to throw it. Short little throw to Ebron. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Nice rhythm throw there on 1st down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against? A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. They run the counter. It's Harris. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down.
And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
From the red zone now, Winston.
Open man, that's the tight end, Freiermuth.
And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the 1st battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Winston. Flushed out right. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. Grady Jarrett able to record his 5th sack of the season.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack. But he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football. Had to eat it and ended up on the ground.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line.
No, there certainly was a lot going on that play. Every option in the end zone covered. No place to go with the ball. Had to swing it out to the back. A good job running and getting him tackled in the open field.
The kick by Bass is good.
And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
On a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other. supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll go again to Jones. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. The give is to Jones. And he's going to have the first down at about the 38.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Fields. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run.
Well, this is where an offense needs to show what it's made of, and in fact, where a quarterback needs to show what he's made of, trying to engineer a 4th quarter comeback, and he hits a big one right there.
Now a first down carry by Jones. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
How many times do we say in this game that speed kills, and it does it in so many different ways? In this case, you got a back who's quick and shifty, can make moves, make people miss, but also gets to and through a hole before it can close down. That's some of the benefits of that speed, not just outrunning people in the secondary, and that led to a really nice gain.
That's caught left side to tight end Pitts. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 12 yards on back-to-back plays there, and that's another first down.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there, not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
Jones. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Jones again. And he's not going to push his way forward. He's going to be stopped at the 2-yard line. No gain on the play as we have reached the 2-minute warning. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. They face a critical 3rd and goal now in a 1-score game. They'll try and run it in with Jones. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ronald Jones, his 14th touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons are an extra point away from having the lead.
So the second down run didn't work. They run it again on third down and get in. I wasn't sure if they might pass it, Charles. We know that they like to mix it up down here around the goal line.
Yeah, almost felt like the offensive line said, forget mixing it up. Let's call our favorite run. Over our best blockers, and let's get this one in.
Still an important piece of business to take care of, the extra point. And it's no good. He missed it. And the game remains tied. Oh, boy. All square now at 13 all as he sends this one away. The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Boy, Charles, what a critical call in a tie game late.
You want to have the tight coverage. You don't want to cause the penalty. Pass interference in this case. Remember, it's a yardage foul in the NFL, a spot foul where it occurs.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. They hand this off to Harris, and nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. Third down, here's Harris. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he stopped immediately there. Falcons going to use their third and final timeout as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. They'll try the right side with Harris. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the fourth.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the fourth, but they got to feel good now.
Extra point by Bass, up and good.
And they will take a 7-point lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. Just a yard pass there to the 21.
So all eyes on the Falcons. Down 20-13. And time, a huge factor. Their 5-game winning streak hanging in the balance here. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield.
And it'll be incomplete. Good job staying with him defensively. And it'll bring up second down.
These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. Back to throw.
Looking there for Pitts, but intercepted.
Nick Needham picks it off.
And the Steelers have just about sewn up this football game.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Winston goes ahead, takes the knee, and that should be all she wrote. So this one in the win column for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they've got to feel good about this performance. I think you'd agree.